Bukidnon, known for its 7 tribes, but only a few knows the collective name of these tribes. If combined, they are called the Bukidnon Tagoloanon Tribe.
Bukidnon Tagoloanon o Tagoloanon is ang primordial people of Bukidnon or of Malaybalay particularly. The word Tagoloanon is because these people are from the Uluhan, no? So Taga-Uluhan, from the headwaters.
The Bukidnon Tagoloanons can be distinctly identified by their practices that are basically a reflection of how they live. However, as modernization would have it, there are practices which are already very difficult to apply to the tribe's lives today.
Ang pinaka-basic sa batasan sa Tagoloanon, sa Bukidnon, ug sa halos nga tanan nga tribo sa Bukidnon, gitawag nila og bungkatol habulawan daw katasa halana. Muraw ni siya gitawag nga murag the golden rules. And in that nga batasan ay 5 ka pillars lang nga by which people live by. So firstly, ang gitawag nga kilalaha habatasan. The binukid word kilalaha, magduol na siya sa Tagalog yapo, no? Pagkilala. You have to know each other first, no? Mutual recognition. Sayuda habatasan. Mutual sharing of information or transparency kung sa in English pa, no? That in any agreement, any decision to be made, there must be transparency and buliga habatasan. Complementarity and cooperation. Mag-complement to each other, magtabangay gihapon, no? Tinabangay. Cooperation rather than competition. Pauyag-uyaga habatasan. The mutual undertaking to uplift each other. And also, patawil-tawila, daw amay, daw inay. To act as a parent towards others. Years ago, when the IPRA law was enacted, my father initiated the filing of the ancestral domain claim. It was initiated at first as an ancestral land claim over the area adjacent to the city of Malaybalay, really. And of that ancestral domain, the most important portion is that area which is our sacred ground. Kani nga principles is hidden there. And that naay prophecy sa mga tigulang ginaisulti sukad pa nganiadto nga one day dinha nga lugar ko, no, that place, this batasan that we have will again arise and will flow back to other communities, no? So a sort of prophecy.
These practices are essential to keep their identity as Lumad intact, that even the challenges brought forth by modernization could not hinder.
Slowly, in our modernized world now, there is a growing threat of that culture being maybe one day totally erased, because we do not have any written material within which to teach these principles and culture. It is mostly passed on through oral tradition. And there is also a reason for that. One day, it was Sir Bobby would say it, very providential for me and Sir Bobby to meet in Pine Hills Hotel, because they had this project, the inclusive growth through inclusive business.
This is where the program support for the Chamber's promotion of inclusive growth through inclusive business project came in. This inclusive growth through inclusive business model is the application of the concept of farmer profitability espoused by the Department of Agriculture in the late 1980s.
When I first met him, I asked him, how much land do you control? 990 hectares.
I was very interested when Sir Bobby would ask me, if your tribe were to engage into a venture, would you be willing to borrow money? Right there and then, I answered him, that is what we also want.
That surprised me. Normally, people like that don't like to borrow because it is a way that the capitalists take over the land. So they're very hesitant to borrow. He said yes. I asked him why. He said, because kung hatag na, daghang sabit. That in itself is discovery. See, this guy understands.
This vision contrasts dramatically with what most ancestral domains fear about the current tenurial arrangements wherein the small landholders lease out their lands to large corporations who establish the plantations and own the produce. But through the program, small landowners just like Bukidnon Tagoloanon Tribe will have access to organizational, financial, technical, marketing, and management resources by capacitating themselves to engage business as partners rather than landlords leasing out their lands.
This might be an opportunity for us to be able to develop that sacred ground, to put up an activity that would enable us to protect and to preserve our culture, to give our people the means to address their economic needs, and enable us to again return to our indigenous culture, our indigenous customs.
What is the effect of this? The effect of it is the owner of the land, the people have been granted land, but it's not productive, it's not being cultivated, they're protecting it, that's all. The owner of the land becomes the cultivator of the crop.
We had to explain and we made them understand that it is not just the plantation, it is not just the potential of gaining monetary returns from a plantation, but the opportunity to be capacitated, to be able to engage into business and to not to compete but to be a part of national growth.
But how about the business entities? What are the benefits they can expect to gain from entering into outgrower programs as opposed to the traditional business model of leasing lands and doing it all themselves? The major benefits business entities get via partnership where small growers produce the necessary commodities needed by the agri-value chain means that companies do not have to spend for machinery, supervision, land rentals, security budgets, and all the numerous expenses involved if they did it themselves. The grower cooperatives absorb the natural risks inherent to agricultural production such as typhoons, drought, insect infestation, among others. Business is guaranteed quality of harvests delivered at the factory gates. Business eliminates erratic free market price fluctuations through previously negotiated pricing formulas. Business reduces land and tenurial problems since the landowners are now the cultivators themselves.
You hit at the basic root of a lot of the problems in the Philippines through inclusive business. You make the farmers profitable, the agricultural sector will grow. People will become empowered.
When we engage economic activities, we wanted that it would be of our own choosing, of our own efforts. No? Of course, we recognize the need for partners, but essentially, we wanted to have self-determination, to determine ourselves, and to use our resources, that we should be the owners of the crop that we till, no? Or we plant.
There are 7 tribes in Bukidnon. None of them are doing this. They're all marching up the political thing to get more political recognition, but no, political recognition will come with economic independence. That's what we're helping them achieve.
Livelihood is only a means for life. No? So sa Binisya pa, which I also heard from one of our leaders, Datu Mikitay, lahi ang pagpanginabuhi o pagpakabuhi. No? Ang pagpakabuhi isip lumad as natives to live out those moral codes, those principles. You must also address the panginabuhi, ang livelihood. But conversely, you must see it as distinct. No? That we will do this activity to have that plantation. That is only panginabuhi. That is livelihood. But that will not define who we are. It's only a means in order for us to preserve our kinabuhi, our life, in order to live as indigenous peoples. No?
The project has partnered with Kennemer Foods International or KFI for cacao via the supply of certified seedlings for sale, technical support, and the transparent buyback and pricing arrangements with the Bukidnon Tagoloanon Tribe.
Hundreds of thousands of hectares today are in the hands of tribal communities and small farmers, and they remain poor. Their whole objective is protecting their land from people that are trying to steal it. But are they bringing it towards productivity and profitability? No. Thus, inclusive business.
With that, we have created the environment wherein not only is our community capacitated, but also the would-be partners are also assured that they can engage us and that there is stability and continuity in our endeavor because we also have that preferred juridical structure that they have. But we have that without abandoning our own indigenous political structure.
They can be there as markets, as technology sources, but you've got to look back at the farmer. It's your vision of the farmer that will determine the correct policies. Look at the farmer as a businessman. They have to go from a tribal organization into a professional managed organization.
I'm very grateful, and I know and I speak on behalf of our members that we are very grateful and thankful to this program, to USAID, and to the Oro Chamber for being our partner, for enabling us, for giving us this opportunity to acquire this capacity. And we hope that we really succeed in this, not just for that plantation, not just for our community, our tribe, but if this will succeed, we will be looking at a model that we can help other communities engage also into business and probably help in giving those other communities the opportunity to gain a better life, better economic situation, and a better opportunity to preserve their culture as well.
As we're closing down this program now, and the tribe is taking over already, because they're going to have to run the plantation themselves. We're not going to do that. We capacitated them to be able to do that. And then as they build up and grow, they will need help, and we will hold their hands as they move along the business journey.
We believe more than ever that engaging marginalized in the core business of our businesses is a very good solution in our country's development. We believe more than ever that engaging the marginalized is the core businesses of business. It is the solution to include them in our country's progress and development. Not only does it benefit the poor, it's good business for business.